Hey, scrappy people. It's Tracy Reed here today, and I am working in my 2016 December album using the Cocoa Daisy November Pocket and 12 by 12 memory keeping kits. And today I'm working on a spread with one of the dividers that I made on my silhouette, and you can see that I took the time and hand stitched around one of those snowflakes on that divider. There was a lot of darkness in the photos that I'm using on this side of the spread. So I wanted to add just a little bit of black thread around the outside of the snowflake to kind of add to the black a little bit so that it didn't just look like I had a couple dark pictures. You can see I'm joined on the right hand corner there by my cat, who has decided that he really wants to be a part of this. And for this side of the spread, I just kind of after all that hand stitching, I didn't feel like I needed to add too much more to it, especially since this didn't really have a story. It was just kind of cute pictures of a silly hat we bought the dog. So I'm going to glue down all of these stars, and now I'm going to add just a couple stickers to the side and maybe a label to add a little sentiment to the dog about his silly hat. And then I will call this side done. I think I'm going to add after this journaling, I'm going to add a loose sketchy outline to that card, as well as around the outside edge of the hat on the card, just to add a little bit to it since I'm not doing much to this side of the spread. The cat, I swear, he only wants to see me when I'm scrapbooking. Adding a little of these chipboard stars. Then I'm going to draw the sketchy outline. Just a really loose one around the outside of the hat, just to add a little bit of something to that card. Now I'm done with this side, so I'm going to switch over to the other side of the spread. And you can see, because I hand stitched on the other side, this side is a mess, so I'm gonna have to add a little bit to that divider, and I decided that that is where I'm going to add my journaling for this side of the page, since I used a filler card for that empty non-photo space instead of a journal card. So I'm going to add this border to the edge of the divider. And then I need something to cover up that snowflake with, or the back of the snowflake. So I'm going through what papers I have left and trying to decide which one would match the best. And the green matches fine, but I decide to use the red polka dot instead because it matches a lot better. So I'm going to stick it down, and that gives me a good foundation for adding a place to journal. Making sure I cover up all of that back stitching and everything is straight. Then I decide to use the quote of the day pad included in the pocket kit for my journaling. So I stick it down with my tape runner and again reposition it, making sure that it is straight on there. And if I had thought about it, I would have written on it before I adhered it down, but journaling is always my last step, so I didn't really think about it, but because of all of that thread on the other side, it kind of made it a little lumpy. So I'm adding in some of the yellow puffy sticker stars around the outside edges of the place where I'm going to journal. And then I'm going to work on the right hand side of the spread. Stick down these photos. These are just a bunch of silly Snapchat photos of me and my sons. We took a lot more than this, but see, these are the ones that I pulled out. They were obsessed, well, they are obsessed with Snapchat filters, but during Christmas we took a lot of Christmas themed ones, and so I just grouped them all into one layout for the ease of having all of the same kind of subject matter on one spread. I'm going to use a bunch of these little tiny red gems on this spread. You can see you get a ton in the collection, and I have so many left that I want to make sure I use them. They're kind of like itty bitty enamel dots. So I just add a little sparkle to each of these photos, which is right because they're magical photos. Snapchat magic, so the little sparkle is perfect. And then I decide I'm going to add a title, and it's going to say "Oh Snap," but I am out of a lot of letters already, so I just use O instead of OH. Make sure I get the centers out. Then I'm going to lay them all down right underneath the quote of the day card. Exclamation point and all. Oh, I was out of P's, so I just cut the second loop off of the B to make it a P. And here comes the exclamation point, and this is just about done, this layout. Going to add a label here. I'm not quite sure why. I just think it kind of felt naked without a label, I think. And I just write something silly on it. I think, "Oh dear, I'm a deer." Then I'm going to add the journaling to the quote of the day card. I'll cut that out for you so you don't have to watch it. Da, 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 all done. And we are just about done. I'm going to start putting these cards back in here. And then I realized that I needed to punch holes back in that divider again, since I covered up the holes with that patterned paper on the edge. So I'm going to do that. Whoops, yep, need the hole punch. And this spread is all done. Show it to you close up. If you enjoyed this spread, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I'd love it if you subscribed. And if you have any questions about this or the Cocoa Daisy collection, please leave them in the comments section. Thank you.